for some reason, it started to do like some crazy feedback. So I'm going to give this a couple minutes to let people find the new live. I don't know why it started to do feedback like that. But in the meantime, I wanted to talk about the stream that I had with A last night. I think that that was probably one of the most valuable streams. And I wanted to also expand on the importance of marketing. And he talked a little bit about like putting yourself in front of the audience rather than waiting for the audience to find you or waiting for or just begging people to like listen and to like engage with the stuff that you're putting out. So when it comes to putting yourself in front of the audience, that obviously it takes your ability to know exactly who you're aiming toward. So if your target market is men, if your target market is women, it really all depends on who your target market is. That is what is going to matter when it comes to how people perceive your product. So if your product is beats and you know that you're aiming towards women that sound like Dev, then you will look for people who are fans of Dev, and then you'll start to make beats that, hey, Maximus, sorry about the confusion when it came to the streams. It was, I don't know why it started to do that. It like totally froze. If you if you can do me a favor and check on the scheduled stream, it's going to come up as over for most people, but yeah, so nobody will be waiting. But so putting yourself in front of the people that you're selling to, I was saying, like, if your target market is, say, female rappers, and you make this Nicki Minaj type beat or whatever type beat that you make, you're putting yourself in front of that market. And that's kind of what A and I were talking about, putting yourself in front of the market rather than asking people to be a part of the market. Hi, Sean. I can't pronounce your first name. Samion. Samion. Thank you guys for coming in. Sorry about the confusion. I'm gonna have to delete that video because I look like an idiot. I had to, like, for no reason, there was all this feedback, and I was like, this is not working. I tried to not use my AirPods for the stream so that you wouldn't get the constant knocking of my gauges, but I don't know what happened. For some reason, the mic wasn't picking me up. It's like last night when me and A went live for like 15 minutes before we even realized that nobody could hear us. There was a bunch of people just sitting there watching, which is so funny. Like it took, I think it was Maximus. Was it you who said something first about that nobody could hear us? But anyway, whoever it was, thank you. We had no idea. We were just sitting there like shooting the shit. But how many of you guys actually lease beats? And what do you use to lease them? Do you use BeatStars or Airbit? Oh yeah, for sure. Simeon. Simeon. Can't pronounce your name. I don't know why I can't read that. I do have my glasses on today, finally. Oh, okay. All right, cool. So I'm not saying it wrong. Simon. Oh, it's just Simon. Well, that's easy. So Maximus, okay, so you lease on BeatStars. What would you say is your biggest pain point when it comes to leasing on BeatStars? I would guess that it would come down to how to actually label your beats and probably discovery. Just being found on BeatStars is a huge thing in itself. Sorry, I had to touch the thing. It wanted to go to sleep for some reason. But the biggest problem that I have on BeatStars for sure is discovery, but my catalog is so big that people have been like finding me, and I've been super lucky with that. I've been lucky to have a big catalog. But if somebody doesn't have a big catalog, then it's so hard on BeatStars to actually get discovered. Yeah, discovery is the challenge. That's what I figured. So, what do you think that you're actually doing wrong? Because this is my theory. I don't think anybody's doing anything wrong. I honestly think it's hard to be found just from BeatStars side because they only have the big ones. Yes. So I don't know if you guys saw, I made a video and it was called BeatStars is Bad Now. Originally, it was called BeatStars is Hiding Something. And I actually talked about that. Like, BeatStars runs its algorithm sales based. So you have to have sales to be able to even be discovered on BeatStars, which I think is a flawed system by itself. Because if I ran a company, I would want sales. I would want everybody to sell. I wouldn't have a sales based algorithm. Although it does give some indications that somebody's popular, it doesn't give indications that the beat's good. It just, the main indication is that the right person found it first. And I've noticed this. So when I sell a beat on BeatStars, that same exact beat will sell a few more times. And that's how I know that the algorithm is sales based. And it's a flawed way to run it. Because say me and Maximus and Simon, we make three different beats, but say like we're aiming for the same market and Simon makes a sale, Maximus doesn't, and I don't. We're SOL. And Simon's, even if Maximus's beat was better than both of ours, because Simon made that sale, then he's going to be pushed forward. Whereas me and Maximus are staying exactly where we are. I don't think that that's an efficient way to do it. I think that the algorithm should be based on a lot of different things. So YouTube will push a 4K video ahead of one that's 1080p and a 1080p ahead of one that's 720. And they go by quality. So all these algorithms that can track all of these beats and some copyright systems, you would think that the algorithm would be able to more or less judge if a beat is quality or not just based on rhythmic patterns and whatever they do based on keys. I mean, algorithms can judge all these things. So why are we doing sales based when the beat that sells may not necessarily be the best quality? And that's what I hate about BeatStars algorithm. I also tried something. I tried uploading beats every day, of course. So I, for 1 year, I actually did the same exact thing. The This is what I can say. Even though BeatStars says that they actually, or there's this thing going around on YouTube that BeatStars gives a shit about consistency. I don't think that they do. I really don't. Because first of all, I sold more beats when I wasn't consistent than when I was. And second of all, it's a sales-based algorithm. So why would it matter? You know what I mean? When it comes to the amount, the amount of beats that you upload, if zero are selling, then because it's a sales-based algorithm, so you're going to get pushed. And that's why I made this video. I don't remember when, but it was about, I don't believe that consistency helps you on BeatStars. I think that it helps you because consistency will make you upload more beats. Your catalog will be bigger, but and that will eventually just statistically lead to sales. But the actual consistency itself, unlike the YouTube algorithm, I don't think that BeatStars cares. I really don't. So, discoverability wise, what do you guys think? So, I've done a lot of experiments. Yeah, thank you, Simon. But I've done a lot of experiments with the way that I name my beats in BeatStars and the way that I name my beats on YouTube. And I found that BeatStars, the way that you name it, definitely actually matters. on YouTube because there's so much of a huge supply on beats and so little of a demand. And I understand there's definitely a demand on YouTube for beats. I just don't think that the demand for beats when it comes to YouTube is that of BeatStars, where somebody has credit card in hand, they're ready to buy. They're looking specifically for a beat to purchase. When I go on YouTube, I mean, even if I were a rapper that was looking for beats to lease, I'm not going on YouTube to lease a beat, but I'm more likely to find the beat on YouTube, maybe, because I actually found that on BeatStars, when it comes to the way that you name your beat, it actually matters a lot. I found that you get a lot more traction on BeatStars with big artists than small ones, whereas on YouTube, the small artists are the ones that seem to drive more traffic. And if you're making beats for a smaller artist, like if you're doing like Hobson type beats or something like that, I do think that those people that actually make it to your BeatStars, say they go into the description, click the link, they're probably more likely to buy. So A and I were talking last night about Joe Gautry. And Joe Gautry makes Taylor Swift type beats. He does The Weeknd. He does stuff like that. Super talented producer. I have like my issues with him. Yeah, I find the same thing, Damien. So because obviously I have like hundreds of type beats on the channel before I nuked it. I nuked that part of it. Like I took all the type beats off, uploaded it to a different channel and called them something else. Just called them like instrumentals for videos because most of my beats sounded like they were instrumentals for videos anyway. But with Joe Gautry, he's in his own niche. Nobody's making Taylor Swift type beats. Nobody's making The Weeknd type beat. Maybe The Weeknd, definitely not Taylor Swift. So Joe Gautry has his own niche, and he's really good at making beats that totally sound like something that Taylor Swift would be on. So he actually he hit the lottery when it comes to I do. Simon, I don't think that I've seen you around here before. It's good to see you. You don't look familiar to me, but if you just found me, thanks for sticking around. But yeah, BeatStars, does anybody sell on Airbit? If anybody sells on Airbit, let me know how you do with that. So I was on Airbit for about a year and I sold one beat and I ended up just taking all of my music off of Airbit. You're on both. That's the smartest way to do it. Thank allergic to bullshit. I don't know why I can't say your name with a straight face. Allergic to bullshit, then hit the like button. I would love that, and so would allergic to bullshit, because if you don't, that's bullshit, and he's allergic to it. But no, I remember you coming in last night. So last night, the A stream, I interviewed A because A taught me a lot of stuff about beat leasing, and he taught me a lot of stuff about like I came in like you know, a bomb because I was so done with the course stuff. And A actually helped me differentiate between good courses and bad ones. People that kind of deserved a second look. Courses. Oh yeah, no, A is awesome, and I love him. And great guy. But he taught me a lot of stuff about the way that you market yourself. What do you think, Simon? Or let me know your thoughts on courses because I am curious. I put up some stuff on Reddit asking people about how they felt on courses, and I wanted them to answer me if they had taken them, but like every other social media platform, because I didn't use Reddit often enough, I didn't have karma, so like my stuff pretty much stayed at the bottom, but I was really curious to run. But what was I talking? Oh my God, ADD. I just totally lost my train of thought. But oh God, I don't remember what I was talking about. Anyway, the stream last night with A was super informative, and every single time that I talked to that fool, I learned something new. Like he really, really knows his stuff. And I know that people will look at his channel and his channel is very small, but we kind of talked about it last night. A pivots because he really, we all, I feel like all of us are in this collective basket. And if you're smart about this stuff, you're going to stick stuff to the wall. And when something sticks, you'll double down on it. What up, Discord gang? Who's this guy? What's your Discord name? If you, I only know the Discord guys by their Discord names. I think the only one that I know the name of is. I'm looking to change, gangs. What are you looking to change to? EXE. There you are. I'm glad that you came. Thank you for coming, EXE. Where the fudge is Larson? I'm just, you got to run back into Discord and tell him like I'm sitting here and my heart's been ripped out. But and Pellinor, where honestly, I should just like kill myself on stream. That would go so viral. That was a joke. I'm sorry. But I have a dark humor. But anyway, the stuff that A kind of talked about on the stream, that's the stuff that I've only kind of heard me. Oh yeah, so his channel is relatively small, and I was talking about pivoting. So you've seen on this channel, I pivoted a lot. Ram's not here, and it sucks. Thank you, Ram. Um, oh, I missed that thing. I don't have my moderator over here to read me these comments that I'm missing. But pivoting, have any of you actually done that? Like, not like, but have any of you taken the risk with like a channel that was growing and actually like kind of 180 the channel to see what would happen? Or to see like, because you wanted to change up the vibe of the channel. Like, not so much you wanted to change up the vibe that the whole channel changed, but that you wanted to change up the vibe to see if you could bring in some fresh blood and retain the old blood. Because a lot of my pivots have been aimed towards doing that. So, any subscriber that you gain is a gift, every single one. And because it's hard to get people to actually click subscribe, it's not easy. I know because of the way that I personally watch content, it takes me a while to subscribe unless I already have an emotional connection. I don't think that Hollow Sounds has ever been in a live, but if you ever see the way that he interacts with me, he definitely disagrees with a lot of things that I say. And that's what I like about him is he always gives me the devil's advocate and the way because I think I get stuck in these loops where I can only think the way that I think. I only have this one brain. And Hollow Sounds has never been shy about just straight up disagreeing. Sometimes just being like, oh, and that's why I value him. And the other thing about Hollow Sounds is that he makes content and he's getting better and better and better at it. And when it comes to the way that I look at these subscribers, so say like there's this subscriber that disagrees with me a lot of the time, but then I look at his content, I can actually leech off of his content, not leech in a bad way. I get a hit from unsubscribing because I said, oh no, I didn't know that that exists on YouTube. If that exists on YouTube, I didn't realize that that happened. That's funny because I also unsubscribe a lot. You must be really unsubscribing a lot. It's like Tinder. So obviously I'm married, but like I remember on Tinder, like I would swipe so much that like that thing, they were like, would you like to pay for Tinder Gold? What if YouTube, every time they unsubscribe, they're like, would you like to pay for YouTube Gold? Music only now. So allergic to bullshit. Are you saying that all you do is music now? Did you used to do something else? Or were you confusing the algorithm with like two different pieces of content? Because I definitely did that too. I had that TWA Flight 800 thing. Oh, that's all you watch. Oh, I I don't know. Do you guys, what about the rest of you? Do you guys watch anything other than music stuff? I think I mostly agree with Allergic. Music stuff is definitely like 89% of my viewing. But I like pop culture, drama channels, and I also like um, historical documentary channels. Like I've been like really, really into the Holocaust, and I think I was pretty ignorant of the subject for a long time. Oh, so you're mainly music too, Simon. So you guys, that's funny. So YouTube tells me what my subscribers watch. And this is really funny. So most of my subscribers are guys, obviously. And it's so YouTube is like, your viewers also watch this channel. And a lot of the channels are about steroids and bodybuilding because I have a mostly male audience. So they're into like bodybuilding, probably curious about steroids and stuff. But I always think it's funny that those channels come up. Oh, space. Oh, what's your favorite, Damien? Let me know. I am obsessed with space exploration, and I listen to a lot of podcasts that talk about that. If you have any ones that I don't know of, I only ever put one beat up this channel. Oh, okay. So you kind of separate the beats from the albums. Well, give me a couple, Damien. I need some material. I'm gonna try to screenshot it if you can give me some good channels. About 30% music and the rest is a mishmash. So what would you say the mishmash would be, though? I truly am curious because like I know like I'm female, obviously. So my viewing habits are gonna be a bit different than a male's viewing habits, but I definitely watch a lot of stuff and most of the stuff that I watch I think would be appealing to guys. I only ever really put my beats on SoundCloud. Oh, alert. I actually, you know what? I used to do that too, and I shouldn't have stopped. So back in 2020, the most traction that I actually got was on SoundCloud. I mean, go figure. And for some reason, a lot of the channels that I was watching was saying shit like my beats were going to be robbed from SoundCloud. And I believed it because I was very new to actually posting the beats up. And holla, there you are. I was just talking shit about you. I, man, a lot of it too. I was going on and on and on. You can ask anybody. How you doing, Hella? It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. I was just talking about you though. I was talking about your channel, and I like the videos. Every single one of your videos has continued to get better. But I was kind of telling them about how you almost always science math program. Oh, you're so freaking right, left brained. I got to go shopping now. Hopefully you did you buy the MPC? SoundCloud attracts true. No, you're right about that. Allergic. That's true. That's dead ass true. So I get really, really sick of mainstream music. I like to be like up on what's going on with mainstream music. But like if I want to actually listen to something new and innovative, SoundCloud is the place to go. And I almost regret that I didn't continue to upload there. No food. Oh, so Hala, I was just talking about you. So in case you watch the beginning part of this later, I was talking about you are probably the only subscriber that I have who will like come into the comment section and flat out disagree. And I was saying like how you've actually made me look at specific things differently. And because most of the time when somebody comments, contrary to popular belief, most comments on YouTube are nice. It's very rare where you get a mean one. No, that's true. Alert, that is true. It's a mix, and you kind of have to have the right mix. But oh, yeah. So when it comes to, you know, you were talking, and I'm not trying to dox you or anything like that, but you were talking about being banned from channels, and I think that that's why, because you think the way that you think, and you're not afraid to like state your opinion. And I kind of think you got the short end of the stick when it comes to people that like shut you down for no reason, like just banned you. Like it, we need to be disagreed with because we will never learn if we're not. I try not to delete comments. The only time that I ever do is like if they're just not productive, if someone's like, yo, gap tooth, big nose bitch, you look like a fucking gargoyle. Well, obviously I'm gonna delete that video. Like, what the fuck? That provides no value. But so allergic. I don't have a Discord. I do have a Discord channel. It should be called Leah Jude, but nobody is in there. I never actually started my own. The Discord channel that I interact with the most is Weavers. And allergic, if you want to hit up my IG or email or whichever way, there's links in the description if you want an invite link or just go to one of Weaver Beats videos and hit up his Discord. But right now I have nobody in my Discord. Unless you guys want to be the first members, I would be happy to be able to start my own Discord, but I didn't have enough. I'm dyslexic and I don't like most people and I can see things as they do. And I don't sugarcoat my thoughts. And yeah, but I think that that's what I like about you, Holla. Like that's what I like about you the most is you definitely deviate from opinions and you definitely if you don't like something nobody has to question whether or not you like it. You're very like outward and I honestly feel like most people should be that way and I don't think that you should be vilified for doing that. I never vilified you for doing that. Sometimes I just don't respond because I'm like it seems like a preference thing. New guy, no, it would be awesome if you guys wanted to join the Discord. Even Holla, I'll wait 10 minutes to ban him. That's a joke. But no, if you guys want to be like the first ones in there for sure, it's just called Leah Jude. And I didn't shout it out or anything because there's no members. I was debating on kind of starting it. But yeah, if you guys want to come in, that would be awesome. So I've been sitting here like flapping my gums. Is there anything specific on anybody's like conscience that they want to? Did anybody murder anybody? Anybody in the trunk recently? It's a joke. Does anybody have anything specific that they want to talk about? This is so much easier if my wife is here or if A is here because they can kind of like steer the conversation better than I can. Hala, I went on a channel today and the YouTuber's audio was terrible and all the comments were positive and saying how good it So you were like, yeah, good, good, your audio shit. Honestly, Hala, the audio of these live streams has been terrible and I've been more than aware of it. Unfortunately, for some reason, I went and I tried to like start the live from the actual scheduled live. And I didn't have the AirPods in because I thought that I would try it without. For some reason, I was getting so much feedback. Obviously because the thing is recorded. Like I know why the feedback was happening. I just didn't realize that it was going to be that extreme. So I put the AirPods back in, but I know because of these stupid ass gauges, and I would take these out for you guys, but not only would I be demonetized, but it's gross looking. GB, hey, thank you for coming in. How's it going? Um, EXE is in here. I was trying to think of his name. And Hollow Sounds, I also need to give you an invite to the Weaver link. I'm not sure if you're in the Weaver Discord, hello, but you should be in there. There's plenty of disagreements for sure. The only guy in this channel that says, brother, what's going on with the audio, bro? No, pretty much. No, because Hova, there's no holds barred with you, and that's why I'm comfortable around you, and I like that you are. So I'm glad that I got to meet you. That's not even cap. That's just true. Allergic, something big up with Taylor Swift. Number 13 thing. Oh, is this like what is it? Isn't 13 bad luck? Does it have something to do with that? Is it like a conspiracy theory thing? I I gotta be honest. As white and female as I am, I'm not a huge Taylor Swiftie, whatever you would call 'em. I do like a couple of her songs, but she's overrated, in my opinion. I just probably lost like 1,000 subscribers, but I don't know. I don't think she's all that. I kind of think that I don't know if you guys remember the 90s, like Where Have All the Cowboys Gone by Paula Cole, anything by Tracy Chapman, Change, Fast Car, Give Me One Reason. Like I think that shit was like really where it was at. Yeah, for sure, GB, I agree. I think that there's been a lot of genius female artists. I do not believe that Taylor's one of them, personally. My mom's favorite number is 13. So it's her favorite number. But I would not call her lucky at all. That's actually funny. 13 is associated with many things, but I think it has to do with the moon goddess figurines. I'm sorry about the bouncing, guys. I'm not trying to make you seasick. Some psych pop event. I know that in Korea, the number 4 is actually the unlucky number. I know in America it's 13. Till I got housewives into the NFL. You're not lying though. I don't know why that was so funny, but that's funny as fuck. Because it's true, like all these bitches that never gave a shit about football all of a sudden care about football. I shared a meme to my Facebook recently, and it was like, I don't watch football, so I don't know who Taylor Swift is, but he sounds fast. And that shit was pretty funny to me. But no, it's so true. That was funny. You guys are funny sometimes. But no, I know that like in America even they skip flight 13 and they skip 13 floors. And I know in Korea, South Korea, I don't know about North Korea, I think all of Korea goes by kind of similar superstitions. But I know that 4 is a big deal in Korea. Like they tend to skip that number. Thank you, Maximus. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, if you guys can hit the like button, that would be absolutely awesome. I was in the dentist and the radio was on. They introduced a club song from the 90s as a golden oldie. Oh no. Same. I get you, Greg. It kind of freaking hurts my soul when shit like that happens. $330 million in merch. What are you talking about, Allergic? Is that how much merch is sold since Taylor started to watch football for what is it, the Chiefs? Is the boyfriend's team, right? And or are they actually selling proprietary like Taylor Swift Chiefs merch? Because honestly, from a business standpoint, it doesn't matter how we care about Taylor or if we care about Taylor. From a business standpoint, that would be genius. Taylor made for the NFL, no shit. But that would be genius if they did like a Chiefs Taylor Swift collaboration. Genius. Women buy like crazy though. No, that's true. Okay, so that's actually a good point. So obviously, I am a female that most of my audience is male. And I love that because I think it's easier. So much easier. Men are nicer. They're less like scathing and crazy as women. But yeah, men tend to be a bit more tight-walleted, which is smart. But yeah, it does make it harder to sell to men than women for sure. I work right next to the NBC Universal new television studios, and they don't have a stage 13. Yeah, actually, yeah, women will buy one shirt for themselves and one for their baby too. Oh, truth. That's dead ass. That's true. Yeah, because women are, but men are psychologically more likely to buy for more people than themselves because and I don't know if this is still true, but the last that I read, men find it frivolous to spend something on themselves if they can get use by buying it for multiple people. Like men are more likely to buy a cell phone plan for the family, whereas a woman is more likely to buy a cell phone. So, the way that the spending happens, it seems is psychologically different. So men are like the most bang for the buck and can benefit the most people, whereas like women are more selfish spenders. They do spend more, but they are more likely to make frivolous purchases. No, I think yeah, I guess that's and I actually go figure like I I do spend more like a guy. I'm very I try to save money as much as you can these days because like my wife and I were just saying you leave that walking outside costs $300 these days. And so, I'm especially careful with the way that I spend, but I know that men, that's why I would say if you're going to pick out a financial advisor, I probably wouldn't pick, as sexist as it sounds, I probably wouldn't go with a female financial advisor, honestly. Most financial advisors are male, but I think that there's a very obvious reason for that. Men are definitely less frivolous, but if you are somebody, so I live in a block of apartments that skips apartment 13. Oh, wait, that's interesting because Hala, are you in Australia? Sorry if that sounds racist. I can't tell where your accent comes from. I think it sounds Australian. If I'm wrong, feel free. Well, you will, especially how he will correct me in a heartbeat, but sounds Australian. But that could just be me being an ignorant American. I'm not sure. But if you guys haven't checked out Holosound's channel, he actually does a lot of different things, which I kind of like. My daughter is my financial advisor and account. Okay, so Allergic just brought up something that I didn't even think about. This is true. Women are the couponers. If there's a dime that can be saved, women are way more likely to be able to figure out that side of it. But when it comes to just a purchase, men won't typically look for a coupon, but they will typically, on average, watch their spending more. The UK, oh God, I feel like such a fucking dumbass. I'm gonna do it in Australia. I'm sorry, I'm like I said, I'm an ignorant American. We don't know anything over here. The UK, that's so funny. I kept thinking it was you can tell the I dare you. If you do that video that you were gonna make responding to me, you should do like half of it in Australia. That's actually funny. But no, if you guys have not been to Holosound's channel, he's doing a few cool things, and I like that he has variation. So he has the first video that I watched of his, and he never responded to my comment on that one either. But he did it on Venus theory, and it was really freaking funny because he did it like it looked like he was sitting at this picnic table, but at one point, I don't remember what Venus theory did with the camera. The whole video in Australian. What if a bunch of Australians like subscribe and then they're like, wait a minute, you're not even Australian. Love the UK. Spent some time close to Penzance. Where are you from, Simon? Oh, I can't seem to find the channel. Hey, Hala, I don't have links blocked. So if you want to go ahead and drop a link to your channel, I'll pin it. Um, I don't block links, so you guys are free to put up links. Oh, Simon, you're from Greece. Wow, that's cool. So, like, obviously, do most Greeks speak English? Because in America, most people only speak one language, and I know that we're actually the minority in that I think most countries speak multiple languages. America should be one of those countries, but kind of. Okay, so a lot of Greeks speak English. I live in Yorkshire, England. It's like Middle Earth. Oh, wow, allergic. So you're actually from England too. Simon, what three do you speak? That's awesome. If I could have a quarter of that kind of intelligence to learn that many languages, I would do a lot. I would do a lot of dirt for that. That's awesome. I um I know a lot of Spanish, like a lot of Spanish, and that's about it. But honestly, Greek, English, and Spanish, impressive. about it. Oh, yeah. So, Hala, that's what I was saying. So, Hala's videos, so he did the Venus Theory one that I thought was like super, super funny. And then he also does review on gear, very similar to Pellinor. And he has like a comedic spin, but he's just been getting better and better and better the more that he's uploaded for sure. He's definitely worth checking out. And you can actually see his numbers going up and up and up. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with he's doing exactly the growth and really critiquing his own content and making changes accordingly, which I think excellent job. It's not easy to do. Even when because I have to change things about my videos all the time. Weaver Beats is definitely always calling me out on editing, but every time that he does it, I get better. Akai NPC Key 37, the truth. Yes, that's the video that I watched. So if you guys have not seen that video yet, it's a very, very well done video. Found you. Okay, Simon found you, Hala. No, he's worth a sub. His content just keeps going up and up and up. If you like this channel, you probably like Hala's. I have a feeling that he's gonna start to really um he's pivoted a lot just since I started watching Hala. And Hala sounds, I don't think that you started following me until actually you've been a sub for a few months, but every time that somebody subscribes, I normally, and especially if I keep seeing them in the comments, I go and check out the channels. And yeah, there's some channels that like I'm super impressed with because it goes beyond type E. It's like they're actually like making super, super. Oh, Maximus, you think it's underrated? Hala, you gotta like talk to him. Simon. Yeah. So, what do you guys think about Venus Theory? I actually really like Venus Theory, but he's definitely like, he is out there. Sometimes I fast forward through him brewing coffee and I don't care, dude. What are you talking about? And then he's like, of all the existential things that happen to me on this daily basis on this spinning globe of which I'm like, shut the fuck up. What are you saying? But that's also Venus Theory's appeal. That's what makes people like him. I gotta say, love the deep one. Thank you. Wait, mine? I'm guessing mine. Thank you, Simon. Everybody says that I sound like AI. And you know what? Holland never said that. Of all the things that Holland says about the channel and the not the channel, but he talks about like he's the one of the only people that has never actually brought up the AI thing. Um, but no, it's really, really important. If you guys do have channels, how many of you guys do have channels? Um, okay, so Weaver Beats, so you came to YouTube calling out fakes in the music space. Well, 5 years ago, I was doing the exact same. Oh, so okay, I see. You told me about that actually. That was interesting too. That was an interesting story. I did want to know more about that, but for some reason, you never messaged me. I've asked you to message me on Instagram like 1,000 times. You never do. I did kind of want to talk to you about that because that sounded really interesting. Even though it was a different community, I'm kind of into that stuff. So Maximus, I'm just going to call you Max if that's okay. Um, Max, for every issue there is a solution. No, but that wasn't Hollis' problem. I guess Hollis' problem with it, I don't own it. I guess Hollis' problem with it was like there was no upgrades from the previous model. And I guess that was the main issue. That's the main issue that I saw from other creators too. I finally figured out how to read these whenever. Can we give a quick shout out to Christina Applegate? What's wrong with her? What's wrong with Christina? I loved her in Dead to Me. Did you guys watch that? I don't know if that's more of like a girl show. Dead to Me was an awesome series. Awesome. Oops, sorry about that. And cancel. There we go. The sorry, I'm going back to you guys. I know this looks awkward as fuck. Gotta say, when I first watched your video, the 37 is 10 times better than what we came up. Okay, so Max still sticks by. He likes it. I gotta say, when I first watched your video, I did think it was AI for 3 minutes, you jackass. Whatever, GB. Yes, everyone calls me Max for sure. Okay, cool. I didn't want to be an asshole. I took down a 200,000 plus sub channel when I only had 300 subs. He ended up coming out admitting that everything I said was true. He was taking subs, donations, and wow, spending it on drugs. Holy shit. Greedo. Greedo, is that how you say your name? Hi. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. But yeah, like we've been talking. Who else has a channel? Maximus. I'm sorry, Max. Or I was not trying to. No, GB. I'm just fucking around with you. Oh my God, it takes a lot to offend me. I gotta be honest. Greetings from the Netherlands. Ooh, you're coming from far. So we got some people from the UK and we got some people from the Netherlands. We got people from all over the place. When they release Moogs VSTs, everyone will change their tune a little, I think. Hmm, that's actually a pretty good point. Yes, it is. Yeah. I got a channel, but took a break to improve my vocal mixing. That's always a positive thing, too, honestly. So I've been, I know that I'm going to stop this shaking. Sorry. My eyesight, even with the glasses, isn't great, but I got to tell you that it helps you. Atlanta. Oh, Max, you're from Atlanta. We're in Florida. We're neighbors. But it definitely helps for you to step away, stepping away and really honing in your craft. Nobody will tell you that. And I have noticed that so many creators will not, they're like consistency, consistency. Consistency with what? If you're not, and this is the thing. So if you're not proud of your own quality, you're not happy with your own quality, step back and try to work on that and really start to re-upload to your channel when your stuff is up to your standards. You always want to cater towards the audience, of course. Like I definitely cater towards the audience as best as I can. But like if I don't like the content, I'm not going to release it, if that makes any sense, because you got to stay true to you. I got death threats from fake Christian channels telling me to stop doing videos about them, which only went to prove me as truth. Lives got real dark when this money making when their money making scams are exposed. That's true. If you guys are, you got to be careful with that shit, though. Hala, I'm serious. Those guys. I don't know, Hala, if you know Leah Remini. She was the woman in The King of Queens, and she left the Church of Scientology. Got really dangerous for her for a minute. So just, you know, I know you're doing your channel on something different, but you definitely gotta be careful when it comes to those organizations. They can be scary, but it's always, if there's something that you're feeling isn't right, definitely like rail against it. It's the stand up thing to do. But you know, I insult Busyworks Beats a lot, but he's definitely not Scientology. Like I'd be way more afraid of Scientology. Quality now compared with my first night and day. So you've definitely improved. Allergic, that is the name of the game. We all want to improve. We all want to be like proud of the stuff that we make. Man, that's fucked up. What's fucked up? The Scientology thing with Leah Remini, or anyway, I'm saying this because I see very similar things in the music space, but nothing is as dark as the fake. No, that's true for sure. There's definitely like some shit that's going on in the music space, but um No, when it comes to religious denominations rallying against each other and stuff, like, yeah, nothing that we experience when it comes to online music producing really comes close to the levels of depravity that those sects, the threats, right? Yeah, no, it is. It sucks for people that are like kind of leaving a church. It's very I can't speak on this. I've never been in a gang, obviously. So, like, I shouldn't even use this analogy, but it almost sounds sometimes like these churches, like trying to leave them, especially specific denominations, is very similar. They would rather have you dead than speaking against the cult. And in a lot of these situations, it's cults. I can't speak on every single one. I just know, I know what I know about specific religious denominations and how aggressive that it can get, especially to um, detractors. So it could be a little scary. Woke up every morning for many years with loads of questions on how to improve even 1%, 100% allergic. That's the best way to live. Well, pop stars are dark and obviously satanic. A lot of pop stars pretend to be Christian, um, but are clearly satanic. Perhaps. I mean, you might not be wrong, but that's anti-religious, though. Oh, this is from GB. There's definitely, yeah. I think a lot of people are scrambling for no reason in the producer community. It's funny how everyone is pivoting, scrambling like back. Actually, even I, as a female, know all about like the it's hard to have love for what music has become business wise. GP, what they okay, so yeah, so it looks like everybody's relatively on the same page. And yeah, I understand the frustration from the music side for sure. It is a little sad that people started to lean away from passions and towards marketability. I do blame BusyWorks Beats for a lot of that because that's pretty much what he pushes. And Control, as much as I actually like Control, I think he has a lot of legit knowledge. He's definitely one to push for, but at least Control tells you like it needs to be an artist that you're really feeling if you're going to go that typey route. But oh man, it's hard to maintain a channel if you're not passionate about it. I mean, it's almost harder to maintain a channel that you're not passionate about than a religion that you're not passionate about. Because these things do kind of intersect when it comes to the people that we follow and different aspects of that. As long as we're happy with their exactly, Max. Exactly. I agree with that because I've pivoted a lot. Um, Hambone Tune. No, I actually really like Control too. I don't know if you guys saw Control saw my video critiquing him, and he was so cool about it. Like he was so cool about it. He had more mature at his age than Adam Ivy did. At like however old Adam Ivy is, like 50, I don't know. But like Control actually like he took it under the chin and was like, agree with this, disagree with it, like just really stand up guy. I like Control a lot. Allergic cookie cutter marketing and dope, real talk. Cookie cutter marketing and manipulation BS everywhere. For real. Holla, just watch The Weekend Starboy. Actually, I like The Weekend is referencing Satan. Well, I mean, Starboy talks a ton about cocaine and stuff. It definitely was like a super clean song. Um, And that wouldn't even surprise me if that's something that like The Weeknd had that whole horror nights thing in Universal. So like him being a little bit dark for sure doesn't surprise me none. Um GB the one. You're absolutely right. I agree. BWB is a source of all evils. Real talk. Uh, Greedo busy works beefs. Hambone. Ew, AI. So salesy. True. been 2 months that I have my beats, and beat selling is a hobby that might give back some, and I follow a different route with my music. Feel more calm than I was chasing beat sales. So, did you stop chasing beat sales? What did you end up doing? Because I know, like Curtis King, we all know that he left streaming services. He started selling, it sounds like, physical copies of his music and digital copies of full albums, which for Curtis King works. For the rest of us, wouldn't. Our followings aren't big enough to do that. I feel like for most of us, we need to stick with streaming for now. But what did you do? If you pulled your beats, did you start your own website, or did you end up going like a totally different way with it? Because I know a lot of people these days have been going towards sync with their beats. So if you're somebody that doesn't use samples at all, you actually have the freedom to go towards sync if that's what you choose to do. And, if you're somebody that doesn't use samples, that's a good way to go. If you can actually get those placements, and that's a whole thing in itself. So this stuff is I think that the reason that I really am attracted to the music community is like we decided to play the video game on insanity mode. This is so fucking hard to do. It really is. The fact that you guys are doing it and I'm doing it, like, we're already, this isn't easy. I was thinking of doing satanic agendas exposed in the pop industry, however, that will burn any potential business from upcoming. Okay, Hella, I wanted to connect you with somebody. So I had a really, really good friend. Um, there's two. You might like Truth Seeker. I have a interview with Truth Seeker. It's in, I don't remember which community post it is, but you might like Truth Seeker actually because he figured out a good way to blend his music with elements like what you're talking about, and he actually made it work. The other person that kind of made it work, but he deleted a lot of the religious stuff, would be Bragadino. And I'm a huge fan of Bragadino. I worked with him. Um, he's awesome. If you want to look up his music on SoundCloud, his most popular song is called Vampires. The S is a money sign. Name is Bragadino. And he is insanely talented. And he's a lyricist, and he doesn't use generic hip hop sounding beats. Like Bragadino is very picky. Um, he didn't actually like my popular beats. He liked my more unpopular ones because they were less hip hoppy. So that's Bragadino for you. Very very cool dude. Very out there. Thank you, Allergic. Yeah, if you guys can hit the like button, that would be absolutely excellent. Of course, these lives, especially when I'm by myself, I know I'm a little bit more stiff, but I'm used to having a co-pilot here with me. Um, Simon, it's been 2 months that I have my beats, and beat selling is a hobby that I might give back. That's actually pretty damn cool. Good for you. And the whole time you're learning, yeah, yeah, you can focus a lot more on the music when you're not chasing sales, that's for sure. Hala, I was thinking of, I'm sorry, I already read. You, Hala. Truth Seeker. Maybe I'll try that. I never use samples. Only made 3 beats. No, honestly, if you did not use samples, for sure, try with the sync. And there's plenty of resources. I actually have almost nothing about that on my channel, but there's a lot of channels that talk about that for sure. That tell you how to get those sync deals. Truth Seeker, yes, we have crossed paths. Yeah, Truth Seeker is a really cool guy. Truth streaming like radio, only a single release. Truth, only putting your album on solid or vinyl CD. That should be the goal. I mean, yeah, but it's so freaking hard. I mean, would you guys really buy my music on freaking vinyl or CD? Like, that's a really that's kind of a big thing to ask. I think with our we because I'm pretty small and I'm sure some of you are bigger than I am, but a lot of us are around the same size. That's just a really big ask to get people to buy physical things. It's hard to even get people to buy digital things, and especially with the inflation going on right now. Yeah, I make beats for me because I love making music. If I don't use it, I upload it. So I don't use sample, and I go with more on trailer music. Cool. So that's actually pretty cool. That's actually cool. It's a 70-year-old uncle that's you feel about music producer courses, Leah, but what are your thoughts on sync courses? I gotta be honest, I'm ignorant of them. I don't know. When it comes to sync licensing, I don't know. I would say to be safe, if you think that you found a good person that knows it, not Busy Works Bees. I don't care what he says. He thinks he knows. He probably doesn't. But if you think that you found somebody pretty legit when it comes to sync light, I know of Brandman Network, Brandman Sean and Cody. um, I can't think of anybody else that talks about sync. Totally ignorant. But yeah, obviously, use your gut. If you trust them, you trust them. If you don't, you don't. But when it comes to sync, I'm not your girl. I can definitely help you steer you in the right direction when it comes to B-Star sales, but I can't speak on much else. Um, Unfortunately. But if you do find somebody really, really good in the sync space, let me know. Because I've been into doing that because I definitely have like a bit of my own catalog that has some samples in it. But I got to be honest, I mostly do sample. I like to chop them, reverse them, spread them out, speed them up. I didn't sample for a long time, and then when the workflow got that much faster, I did. So um, to me, it's a personal preference. I never judged anybody on sampling or not, but you definitely have more opportunities if you don't sample. That's just the fact. That's just the way it is. It sucks, but it's true. So, what do we got? We should connect. Yeah, for sure, Simon. Hit me up on Instagram or Discord or whatever. Diamond, love your channel. I love you for watching. Thank you. Been watching for a minute. Glad you're doing streams now. I'm glad that you even joined the streams, Diamond. Thank you. Allergic to bullshit. Congratulations, Hambone Tunes. Oh, I missed what Hambone even said. Gatekeeper. I forget what that's in. That's actually pretty cool. That's kind of true. Instead of getting mad at gatekeepers, just fucking be one. GB, once you said you don't buy sample packs. Oh, can I ask why? So I don't. And the reason is samples are free everywhere. I like to sample from things where the copyright is like aged out. So I sample things like Indian music that's really, really old. If you listen to some of my beats, it's definitely that I love that Indian sound. So I use a lot of that, and I also use a lot of piano music, and I try to modernize it and make it into something more new. But as far as like buying sample packs, I usually use kicks, VSTs from Splice for sure, the one shots when it comes to like doing drums and stuff like that. But when it comes to loops, I try to stick to stuff that's old and free. The copyright's expired, and I can kind of modernize the sound. I can clean it up or even add vinyl to something that already has a lot of vinyl. It's just cool. You know the sky's the limit when it comes to working with this stuff. It's super fun. Super fun. So let me go back here. Sorry, guys. Once we have the background a little bit more settled, we'll be able to um, get of it. This time I'll be able to be at a computer and not awkwardly leaning. Does using snare one shot or any drum? No. Hand bone, no. Don't worry about that. They're not gonna fucking call that. And you know what? Remember, you can still add saturation to those things to make them a bit deeper distortion. You can EQ them. There's a one shot. No, do not worry about that at all. Max could do it. Hambone, I'm new. Hey, we were all there for sure. Diamond sampling is where it's at. I personally, when I started and I was pretty new, I hated sampling. The longer you produce, the more you realize that sampling it can definitely get you into a better work speed, workflow. Quality goes up. A lot of things, and it doesn't necessarily have to. It's not ripping off. Sometimes you're truly changing that shit. I mean, think about "Justify My Love" and "Justify My Thug." Those were two different songs sampled off the same thing. So, I mean, you're definitely creating a new work. I know a lot of people don't like sampling. They're super, super against it. I'm not personally one of those people. If you are making music, you enjoy making music, your music is good, and you're sampling versus not, who cares? But the people who are not sampling when it comes to sync, you guys are going to be more in the clear. When it comes to any legal issue in general, you guys that do not sample are definitely going to be more in the clear. So it's the importance that you place on that peace of mind that probably determines whether or not you sample, or you just don't like the way that sampled music sounds. Like you can detect it, but that's up to you guys, whatever way that you want to make your own beats. I don't like people that have these steadfast like don't do this or don't do that. The cool thing about music and the magic about music is we can do whatever the fuck we want with it. So continue to do whatever the fuck you want with it. that's that's my theory on sampling. Sorry guys, I gotta back up just a little bit. Um, I know this is super awkward, I'm sorry. Diamond, allergic, no, that's actually true. Okay, so Hala says, I think doing vinyl would be something I would do if I had, say, 100 patrons. It would be a limited edition just for them. No, that's a smart way to do it. If you can get like 100 patrons, for sure. Allergic, some drum loops. No, okay, allergic. I've actually been copyrighted over drum loops. I have, even though I sped them up and changed the overall sound. But they're just claims, not strikes. So as soon as I say that it was a spliced drum loop, um, usually they drop the claim. Sample clearance is too complicated. I prefer to focus on creating. No, I totally get that. Allergic for sure. I mean, less headache for sure. Diamond, I have some experience in saying that's actually interesting. If you want to hit me up after this, Diamond, I would love to know the. Hey, I'm not above leeching off of somebody else's knowledge. I actually I'm really interested in saying because I do have a pretty big catalog that's not sampled. Simon, there's a teacher, actual music teacher that talks a lot about sync and is in sync. That's cool. That's actually pretty cool. Allergic, I use hi-hat loops. That's about it. Actually, Splice has some pretty good hi-hat stuff. And hi-hats are so easy to chop too. So easy to chop in order. Um, Maximus, if you print to vinyl, that was just a light. Don't worry about that. That always goes out 100% of the stream. If you print to vinyl, you don't have to clear the sample. They assume what they can find. And you can sample it with truth. Um, Simon took some sync courses. It's the same as beat ones. It could be found for free. That's pretty cool too. They can't sue what they can't hear from that. How I've sampled from the start, but also don't. I used to. use others' music, but I learned early on how to make my own music, to sample into beats. I still buy the odd sample pack, but not very often. Okay, right. I because we've talked a lot about like Curtis King sample packs because I think you either were looking into one of those or thought or bought one. I don't buy sample packs either. They're all recycled or stolen NSP. Oh, allergic. Do you sample pre-1940s? Yeah, I usually try to go over 100 years. Even Mickey Mouse, he met his expiration date. And honestly, music like that has always been hard, like especially old ass music like that. Especially being able to modernize it, like can do some really cool stuff with that old stuff. GB looks like if they put BWB's face on dollar bills, you would go full on it. He ain't lying. Truth. One shots are not, yeah, that's true. So one shots are not considered samples. Yeah, they're VSTs. Um, but I heard how, I don't know if this is not true, NSB. You can let me know. But I think DJ Payne One did talk about one shots getting called or getting claimed. Maybe it's because the people had the one shots. Like, say I have a one shot kick and you have a one shot kick, same kick, and we choose a similar pattern to put that one shot in. Like, people, I don't know if this is true or not, but DJ Payne One seems to be like pretty on point, and I guess he said something about that. Said something about the actual VSTs. Like, a lot of people use things like labs. Um, I can't think of it. There's actually a lot of good. Believe it or not, Sanjay C. That Rhodes VST stuff really freaking good. And I use that Rhodes pack all the time. But I don't know. To me, it's like however you just want to make the music. It depends on what kind of headache that you're willing to like go through. Because it all depends on what you get caught with. Because like however you make your music is truly your own business. You could judge other people for sure all day for like doing something that you don't agree with, but in the end, you're not their market because you're also a producer, you know? So, like, I never really judged the way that anybody else did it, but at the same time, there's definitely ways to do this that are more of a headache than others. But creating a beat without samples is a lot more time consuming. So, you're trading the headache for the time. So it's all what's up, what is the lesser opportunity cost for you, I think is what it comes down to. But as far as like, because I've seen this in comment sections on other people's videos, especially on DJ Payne ones, like people will be battling in the comment section about sampling versus not. And it doesn't matter. I mean, it's however you want to do it. It doesn't really affect anybody else, you know. Do what you want to do, and if you're enjoying what you're doing, you're loving it, and you know your version is successful, keep doing that shit for sure, however you do it. So I got a lot to catch up on. Let's see what was here. All right, it's that one. Yeah, and bone. Okay, cool, thank you. Allergic. More than one of you guys still haven't hit the like button. Thank you for thank you for pushing that for me. I always forget to ask. If you print the first batch of vinyl and it doesn't sell in the calendar year, you could just write it off on your That's true. That's actually freaking true. Believe it or not, there was a band that broke guitars on stage and claimed those guitars that they were breaking on stage as a write-off because they had to break the stage for their job. They had to break the guitars on stage. They considered it a business expense, and the IRS accepted it. You can write off almost anything. Be smart about that, guys. Because yeah, if you're working with 1099s or W2s, even, and you can claim the office space. So your studio, you can claim that by square footage. you can claim your computer. If it's used primarily for business, you can claim the section of your phone bill that you use for business. You, you'd be surprised where you claim. It's, it's worth it to know. I say this all the time, likes are not live. The video in the chat is prioritized. Likes are secondary. Yeah, it doesn't matter, but likes still push it, Hala. Likes still push it. It is true, like comments and stuff like that matter more though. NSP, just be careful with really popular drum breaks. No shit. That's true. Truth. Yeah. Drum breaks are a huge tell. For some reason, people get called out over drum breaks all the fucking time. I join Instagram. Thank you, Diamond. As soon as I get off of here, I'll go ahead and follow you back. Max, that's genius. Oh, I think Max was dropping some gems on the sampling stuff. NSP. I'm sorry. Yeah, NSP. Do you play an instrument? No, NSP. I can play the keys a little. I wouldn't consider it playing for real though. No, uh, definitely not fluent in an instrument. What about you guys? Do you guys play anything? I wish that I could like get better with the keys, honestly. Um, because yeah, you would think after all this time, but very shaky. I can play the drums a little bit, but even that, it's like a jack of all trades, master of none. Is my problem. Like I've dabbled in a few different instruments. I'm okay, but like nothing to write home about. I would like to get better with this stuff. And it can become a pretty subjective take. I don't know what it was referring to, but in almost any context, that makes sense. I bought three Curtis King's packs. His melodies are fire, true. His drum loops are good, but sonically they're a bit harsh. No, but that's what Curtis is known for, his like harsh ass drums. He's got some booming ass drums though. They require work. Yeah, yeah, like his drums. What I know about the way that Curtis King's drums sound, because I do know the way that they sound, even though I've never bought a pack. I would definitely do a little bit of compression. Compress them a tiny bit. Put a limiter on them, maybe. Because but then again, the way that Curtis King does his instrumentation, it actually balances with the way that his drums are. Because Curtis King's drums explode, and I've always kind of liked that. I like when it comes to my beat making, I was never one into watching beat making tutorials. I watched like how to sell beat tutorials, which is why like most of the producers I got mad at were doing those, but I wasn't one to watch like how to produce music tutorials because I kind of started a long time ago. And we can always stand to learn something new about these DAWs and music production and the capabilities and stuff. But for the most part, a lot of the stuff that I've picked up was from the stuff that I heard. So I would listen to DJ Payne One's beats. I would listen to Curtis King's. Would go on BeatStars, listening to Anyway Well, listen to what those people are doing. And the most attractive thing to me was always those drums that come in like maybe at the hook and they're just fucking hard. Like they pound and heavy bass, like a heavy ass kick. And I've always kind of replicated that or tried to. But yeah, I love the way that Curtis King does that. You cannot deny that Curtis King is a skilled producer, extremely gifted producer. Unlike Busyworks Beats, although I've accused, um, you know, Curtis of being similar because those two were kind of OGs in our space. Curtis King was definitely the talent there, musically. But all right, let me go ahead. I just went on a tangent. Let me see what you guys were talking about. All right. So it looks like Hall is talking to Simon here, directly to Simon. Should I have the LLC for, oh, Hambone? I don't think so. LLC, I wouldn't worry about that yet. Remember, if you ever want to say, okay, so say Hambone gets really, really big and Hambone becomes a brand. Say you become like Hambone Productions and that becomes like a string of studios in LA. Just say. An LLC actually deters investors. So if you did decide to do something bigger with Hambone Productions, like it would freeze up at LLC because it's already kind of established. So I'm a little bit shaky on this. I used to know a lot more about it, but there's multiple ways to um, put yourself on the books as a business. LLC is one of them, but there's a couple different other ways to do it as well that don't deter investors. So say Hambone comes up with this product, his own MIDI keyboard. Um, then he would want to obviously copyright this MIDI keyboard that he just came up with, but Hambone would also want to say Hambone keyboards, Hambone instrumentals, or whatever it is, whatever he names this thing. You wouldn't make that an LLC because LLC would shut you down from Kickstarter. So if you did design this physical piece of equipment, the LLC already stopped you from being able to make this a Kickstarter. So um, there's, like I said, I'm not an expert in this, and I could be totally wrong. You're welcome to obviously look this up, but from my knowledge, you probably shouldn't do it as an LLC. Not in our business. I don't think that it's the best way to go, to be honest with you. And if I'm wrong, absolutely feel free to let me know. But I actually looked into that myself, and it wasn't the best way to go. So let's see what I got. Let's see. Oh, okay. So Hala. Yep. So Diamond talking to Hambone, yeah, pretty much. That's another element. Definitely, if you're not reaching a dollar amount with your business, like that. NSP, I don't use compression at all. Now that I think about it, soft clipper and transient shaper. No, same. Yeah. That I mean, not same. I use compression, but no, that's definitely a better way. Probably a cleaner way to do it. Honestly, that's it's a pretty good way. Curtis King's drum slap for real. I agree. And bone. It does. I've only made $50. You don't have to claim 50. I think the threshold is 500 now. 500 for you. I don't think that you have to claim 50 on a 1099. You're not going to get audited over $50. Um, Diamond D, 10K in sales. You mean? Oh, did he? Curtis drum loops need more than just a limiter. I have to chop up the loops and level match. It's a lot of work, still worth doing. They're good drum arrangements and sound selection truth. That's funny though. So Hall is really like honing in and fixing those bitches up. GB, did you watch Curtis King's battle against? Yes, I did. I did. Is that if you're talking about the one where Busyworks did the SpongeBob bullshit? No, I'm talking about Simon. Oh, YouTube sample packs are not bad. No, I know Hala, like he uses some of those. I don't think that they're bad either. It's just not been something I've invested in. Maybe I should, honestly. NSP, this is one area nobody really speaks about in detailing taxes and income. Yeah, if you guys want to talk more about taxes and income, I love that stuff. I can definitely help you guys write some stuff off that you may not have thought about. But another person that um, talks a lot about taxes is DJ Payne one. And he might be more knowledgeable than I am, to be honest. But he doesn't go super, super in depth, but he definitely talks about the things that you can write off and the stuff that you can't. And keys, that's good information. Thank you. And let's be correct, 10K in general revenue under your name for me, that would include Twitch, TikTok, but yeah, that's true. That's a good point. So you can't just take your BeatStars sales as the money that your business is taking in. That's not all of your business. So for me, it would be BeatStars, Spotify, Apple Music, yada yada, YouTube, wherever I'm making income from. That's all under your business, same umbrella. That's a good point. Didn't even think about it. All right, sorry guys. Just checking out these last ones. So the gem diamond. Yeah, thanks Diamond for specifying that. Do you do music? No, I gotta be honest with you, Catch the Wave. I don't. I think music is just so subjective. I cannot sit there and listen to somebody's music and say, maybe I could complain that a snare is too loud or something, but I cannot trust myself to even have the nuance to. For instance, Hollow Sounds makes a different genre than I do. I'm sure a lot of you make different genres. I make pretty generic trap stuff. I can definitely not judge. Like I mean, a listening party I would do, but I'm not an expert. I'm not the one to critique your stuff. Most stuff that I hear I like for the most part, but yeah, music is just too subjective for me. I like a little of everything, and I like some stuff that nobody likes, and I like some stuff that everybody likes. And my music in itself is pretty formulaic. And I know like some people are doing like really different stuff, like Ben Jordan and Venus Theory, even people like that, even Weaver Beats. And like I can't, if you guys are making stuff like that, like I just can't be a solid judge of that. I can just say it's probably good. Yeah, that yeah, the constructive no, we could do a listening party to be honest with you. None of the criticisms would probably be coming from me, but I'm sure people in the comments would talk about different things. But yeah, like the only things that I could ever comment on would be mixing, balance, and things like that. Because other, if it comes to melodies and how formulaic I think it is, or how generic, like whatever, I like music is just too subjective for that, in my opinion. Hala, the reason DAW has a good master bus compressor. However, it does require you to know how SSL mixing board and its master bus compressor. It's very subtle tweaks. That'll make all the difference. Hey, Hala, what DAW are you? Oh, Reason. Reason. So you use that. Is that your primary DAW, Hala? I don't think I know anybody that uses Reason. Pellinor uses Reaper, and he's the only guy that I even know uses that. No, allergic, I do not. I do not know anything about private trust. That would be you'd have to go to a different creator for that. The complicated stuff about our legal stuff is like in the entertainment world, our stuff is so different than like a civilian stuff, and all of this stuff works differently. But no, that would be somebody that you'd have to get the expertise of like an entertainment lawyer. And there's some on YouTube. There's some pretty good ones on YouTube too. But yeah, no, I'm totally ignorant of that subject. Um, yeah, listening party was good. Yeah, I saw that. I did. Yeah, we could do that. If you guys are into doing that, we definitely can. Simon, I gotta go. It's been a pleasure. Everyone keep making music. Nice, keep going. Good morning. In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. If you judge, you'd be judged, Jude. That's a little funny. Didn't even think of it. Why you think some YouTubers who can barely make a beat? contributes and get a lot of views and stuff. Charisma. Let's say charisma. I don't know why, I don't know. You could do a lot with charisma, and I think some of these guys have it. That's the anomaly to me about Busy Works Beats. He has zero talent, zero charisma, zero brain. Yet, actually, that's not true. He's actually smart, but he's not smart in the things that he preaches. But no, this guy, if he would have been a doctor, would have been successful. If he was a car salesman, would have been successful. Busy would have been successful in whatever it was that he chose to do because he is smart. The problem is he's a freaking charlatan. He just blows smoke up everybody's asses. I don't like that people eat it up. All of my music is mostly hip hop, R&B, and reggaeton, and D&B, drum and bass. I often use strings, piano. Oh, I love strings. I love strings. And compose my own cinematic music to sample into beats. Actually, that's pretty cool. I like cinematic stuff. Some of the stuff that I make is cinematic. Entertainment lawyers, I found, understand legal process, but have private versus public principles. I think the key is protecting our business using the private road. No, that could be, like I said, totally ignorant of that. You probably know more than I do, to be honest. I could get you guys some tax write-offs, but that kind of stuff is really digging into the weeds. I can't even pretend to know anything about that stuff. But I am going to get going, and I love that you guys were here. I super, super appreciate that you guys were here. I hope that you can follow up with me on Instagram if you guys had any questions, or we could just chat. Hala, you cannot escape me for that much longer. You have to eventually talk to me on Instagram. But anyway, guys, anybody in here, like, thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Of course, I love you guys. And I wanted to try to do these streams every Wednesday. Hopefully, we can get a better setup. And again, for the last time, thank you so much. And I will see you guys next week, if not before that. And thank you, Allergic. Oh, God, you guys are getting back into it. But reason that seems so freaking complicated. Oh, Holla, that makes sense if you're on Instagram, but don't use it, yeah. And Max, salute back. Thank you guys. I'll see you later.